Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Morgana Galaxia here. And oh my god, yay! Congratulations out there, everybody. Biden did it, Harris did it, we won the election. Oh my god, so excited. I've been so psyched to see everybody dancing in the streets all across the nation, even in other countries. Americans are dancing in the street. We're just absolutely thrilled with this. Well, more than half of us anyway are thrilled with this Biden win. Yay! So the hard work gets started. But there's so much still to look at, so many questions to ask, so many things still going on. So I've still got a lot of readings to do for you guys. So first off is, oh my God, the Senate. You know, I just told you last time, I'm so disappointed that Mitch McConnell kept his seat. He is just really just destructive to democracy. I heard some rumors about possibly them investigating him for running the Senate in an unconstitutional manner. And I hope that wasn't just a rumor and that that's true, because I really do think that that's the case. For example, when President Trump was being impeached, Mitch McConnell was going around prior to the actual impeachment process in the Senate happening. McConnell was going around just telling everybody, mostly his followers, but he was very open about the fact that, you know, that nobody in the Senate, none of the Republicans in the Senate were going to impeach Trump, right? That he had that party locked down. It wasn't going to happen. You know, they were all going to vote no before it even started, before any witnesses were called, before anything was even underway. He had already declared his vote and insisting that all of the Republican senators, you know, were just not going to vote for this impeachment. Yet, on the day of the impeachment in the Senate, he walked up to the Supreme Court justice, put his hand on the Bible, and swore under oath that he would be unbiased. Okay, swore under oath. It was on TV for all to see. And that was after he had already proclaimed openly that he was completely biased. His decision was made. He was going to force the whole Republican Party to vote his way regardless of the information that was out there. And we all saw that that came to pass. So, you know, the first thing I asked myself was, is that illegal? I mean, he gave a false oath, and everybody knew it. And I just don't understand how that was allowed to stand. And my first thought was John Roberts was a Supreme Court justice who administered that oath. You know, I can't help but wonder, what is that justice's responsibility to ensure that the oath he's administering was not a fraudulent oath, which was clearly the case with McConnell, since he had stated publicly on record that he was not unbiased and that he had already made his decision. So it was a false oath, and that stood. And I just don't understand what McConnell's responsibility is to give a valid oath, and also what Justice Roberts' responsibility was as a justice administering that to make sure that it wasn't bogus on its face. None of those questions have been asked or answered, but that's just an example of what I'm talking about as far as Mitch McConnell acting unconstitutionally in the Senate. So the Democrats need 2 seats in the Senate to hold a 50-50 even divide for Kamala to break any ties, right? And I just can't help feeling that it's like those 2 seats are in Georgia. I can't help feeling like the universe has given us one more shot. They're giving us one more shot to pull that Senate through so Biden can work unobstructed, okay? So that's one of the things I'm going to read today. I'm going to take a look at those 2 Senate races, and if Republicans or Democrats will win the Senate, or if it'll be an equally divided House. I want to look at that. I also want to look at, oh God, what did I put down here? Oh yeah, the next 70 days, right? So the next 70 days, make no mistake, are going to be chaotic. And Trump's going to continue to show his true colors. We all know that he's extremely vindictive and he's extremely angry. He's in denial. Are we going to see a bunch of executive orders? Is he going to fire a bunch of people like has already been floated? Or is he going to spend the next 70 days on the golf course in New Jersey, giving the nation the finger? Or like I said the other day, is he going to completely lose his marbles? So I want to take a look at the next 70 days, okay? So let's start with that. The next 70 days, Spirit. The next 70 days, can you show us Trump's behavior now that the deed is done? Show us how he's going to lead for the next 70 days, Spirit. Please show us how Trump is going to lead for the next 70 days. Okay, 70 days-ish, give or take, right? For the remainder of Trump's presidency until inauguration, what's he going to do? Show me, Spirit. What's he going to do? All right, let's take a look. All right. So, with the strength card right here, we know that Trump is all about showing us his signs of strength. He's going to be the strong man. He wants to be strong. He's going to, this is typical Trump. He's going to project strength. He doesn't believe in weakness. Any concessions, any showing respect to the Biden win, anything like that is a sign of weakness for him. He's gonna show his version of strength, which, because we know who Trump is now, we know that that's going to be denial, that's going to be vindictiveness, that's going to be doing whatever he wants to do on his own. He's not going to be listening to anybody. The source of his strength, what makes him feel that strength, are his Trump supporters, his voters. So I think we can expect to see him continuing to communicate with his base, continuing to rile them up, continuing to claim fraud, continuing to undermine the elections, because he cannot do anything but show himself as a strong man. Okay, that's his nature. That's the situation he's in. What's crossing him here is that people are still looking into his taxes, his money shenanigans, his bank accounts in China, his immense debt to Deutsche Bank. Where is he getting his money? How has he been funded? All of these financial questions, the imbalance of the money and all those sort of investigations around him is going to be hounding him. That's going to be a focus. That's going to be his primary challenge going into January, is being continually exposed as a financial fraudster. Okay. Now, what's in the sky around him? What's what can he not face? What's in his consciousness? What is it that is just there above this whole situation? Is wish fulfillment. So clearly we know this isn't his wish. This is the wish of the voters, okay? The voters got their wish. They voted him out of office. Everybody is happy. Everyone is content. Everyone just had their wishes fulfilled. And he cannot help but see that. He's going to have to face that. Just like that picture that was in the news the other day of him in the back of the limo, seeing all those people around the White House as he returned from golfing. That is what he's facing right there. If he's watching any TV, especially if he changes a channel from Fox, he's going to see that footage of Americans dancing in the streets, of Londoners lighting off fireworks, of France tolling their bells, right? He cannot help but be faced with the other side's wish fulfillment. What's underlying, what's foundational to this question is that he's going to have to leave the White House. Bye. See, they're saying bye. Just kidding. So, this card could be arriving or leaving, but, this is the read, right? He's got to leave the White House. That is foundational to this question. He has 70 days to get the F out. And, don't let the door hit you on the way out, bud. Take care. Have a nice life. Bye-bye. All right. That's the foundation of his distress. He got voted out. He has to leave the White House. All right. So the recent past, the energy that he's just passed through is judgment. Very clear. The voters have spoken. Their judgment has been made. The race has been called. He lost. He did. He's a loser. And the energy that he's going to be moving into with the Two of Cups, it's very interesting. So he's going to be moving into trying to make deals, okay? Trying to form partnerships, trying to craft agreements or get commitments for other people. And this card shows that he will be fairly successful in that endeavor. There are going to be those who will work with him. For example, if he wants to open that media company, he'll need he can't do that by himself, right? He needs other people to make that happen. This is this card showing us that he's going to continue to try and make deals. It is starting to come to me. So we're talking about the next 70 days here. While he's still in office, this might be him trying to make a deal to lessen his legal jeopardy. Right? He might be trying to make a deal, whether it's with Biden or maybe something Barr can do for him. Maybe he's going to try something with McConnell or maybe SDNY. Who knows? Yeah, I do feel, there's lots of layers to the deals and the contacts that he can make and what he wants to do. But focusing on this next 40 days, yeah, I'm definitely getting a sense that this is him trying to make deals to lessen his legal jeopardy. So we'll see who that turns out to be with, right? So how does he see himself? Trying to get away with some shenanigans. He knows that his fraud claims are bogus. And the reason we know that they're bogus is because he's been promising fraud claims before a vote was even cast. He's been promising fraud for months, okay? He always tells us what he wants to do. He always tells us his game plan. He's not the sharpest pencil in the box, right? So everyone's been he's been promising this. He knows that if there's any fraud there, he knows it's there because he put it there, because he promised us he would put it there. So this is going to be, your 300, the real fraud is the 300 ballots that are missing from Texas, right? It's the fact that Miami-Dade County in Florida only had a 51% voter turnout. Really? Where did those ballots go? It has to do with all those Republican governors who were shutting down polling places. This is the post office delaying their mail. This is the fraud that Trump's been promising us for months before a vote was even cast. That's the fraud that he's talking about. Remember, everything Trump accuses another person of doing, turn that around and point it right at himself. You can be sure that that's what he's done, and that's what you can look for, okay? So he knows this, and that's how he sees himself. He's trying to get away with it. He's trying to steal it, all right? He's trying to steal the election, get away with the fraud. That's how he sees himself. He knows that this is the case. That's not what he's telling his followers, of course. So in his environment, the influence, of his environment is the Two of Swords. There's a lot here in this card. So this is a critical decision that needs to be made. Being on the precipice, almost so critical that you almost have to be, what's the word? That you procrastinate because it's so hard to make that decision. We got a lot of, this is in his environment. There's a lot of key decisions that still have to be made. This is your Senate races, okay? This is whether McConnell wants to work with the Biden administration or not. I'm sorry, just one moment. So does Mitch McConnell want to work, with Biden? God, there's so many other, how far do they want to pursue different investigations? There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things that haven't been settled yet. So Trump is working in an environment where there's still a lot of key calls to be made here that are going to change the reality that we're all in. So we can, look forward to those. So Trump's hopes and fears is the Three of Hearts. So he's fearing his loss, and really he's feeling the emotional burden that he would need to understand and accept in himself. In other words, he's in denial, right? He's in denial that he lost the election. Even if it's just a denial to his Trump base, he's denying it. He is having a hard time integrating the emotions that come with acknowledging that he lost. He's not he doesn't like that feeling of losing. He doesn't like the feelings of humiliation. He doesn't like, people pointing and laughing at him, or all the names they're calling. Nobody likes these feelings. They're devastating. But he, more than most, can't integrate that in himself, accept those things, forgive himself or others, move on. So I think the idea of that emotional burden is it's devastating for him. It's just shredding him apart. He just can't, this is part of his mental illness, part of his psychological damage is that he can't feel those feelings. He'd much rather tear the country apart than acknowledge this level of distress, okay? So he's scared of that. He's scared of having to come face to face with himself and those emotions, and he just doesn't have that ability. Regardless, our outcome with the world is that we have officially started a new cycle. We're into a new era. It has already begun. Whatever Trump does or doesn't do is sort of irrelevant at this point because the world moves on. The world moves on. I was telling my husband the other day, if any of you have ever lost someone that you really, really cared about, maybe you've had this feeling like I did that it's not fair that the world keeps moving. You want everything to stop because the world stopped for you. It's almost unfathomable when you see the rest of the world keep moving, the cars keep driving, people keep going to work, right? Because your loss was so profound, you've stopped. If any of you are familiar with that feeling, I I have a feeling that's how Trump is feeling right now. His world has come crashing to a halt, but yet the rest of the world keeps rolling on. We've already moved on. We're in a new era. It's a new beginning. The rest of the world is there with us. So, again, the essence of my question was, what's the next 70 days looking like? I think what the cards are telling us is that he's going to remain in denial. He's going to continue to rile up his base. He's going to continue to claim fraud. And he's going to continue to hide from acknowledging the truth and then all the emotions that comes with that truth. Okay? So, and he's going to be in denial, but the world's moving on. There's nothing he can do about it. But, I really want to get into a little more specifically. Can we expect a bunch of executive orders and firings? Okay, can we expect a bunch of executive orders and firings? Can we expect him to start creating a bunch of chaos? Or he may very well peter out, like you blow out that candle flame, gone, easier than you thought. Is he going to hide in Mar-a-Lago? Is he going to hide on the golf course? There's a lot of different ways he can go here. The reading I just finished, definitely indicates, being in denial means you're not going to go and hide. You're going to continue to try and act. Okay, let's just ask a question. Can we expect executive orders and firings? Can we expect an active Trump over the next 70 days? All right. Take you down. Well, it's only 3 cards here. So he is in the midst of his tower moment. Okay. Everything is crumbling down. His whole world is falling apart. This is where he is right now. He is falling from the tower. Okay. He's in the middle of his tower moment. His challenge is that he's not planning. He's not strategizing. He's not thinking. He's not looking ahead to the future. He's not being, this person is they're thinking, right? They're logical. In order to think through things strategically, you have to be rational. You have to be practical. You have to have a grip on reality. You have to know what data, you're bouncing around to figure out the correct path for you. This is his challenge. So this tells me that mentally he's all over the. And for his outcome, what is that? The 5 of Cups. So his outcome here is loss for sure. It's definitely loss. But it's a partial loss, okay? So the thing is, he's going to be focusing on the things he's lost, but there's going to be a few things that he did that will remain, okay? So for example, if he throws out 5 executive orders, 3 of them are just going to crap out immediately. The other 2 might remain in effect. But his focus is going to be on the 3 that he lost. His focus is going to be on what's fading away in front of him. So yes, I think he's going to try. So what these cards are telling me is, yes, he will try to make some moves, okay? Executive orders, firing people, what have you. I don't know what those things are going to be, but he will make an effort to put some things in place during his last 70 days. However, most of it is just going to fall right through. Most of it is just going to be a complete and abject failure. And that's what he's going to be focusing on. he's going to be focusing on his losses, focusing on those things that fell through. He doesn't care about anything he did that maybe succeeded. He really is, he's negative. He's looking at the failures. He's looking at the losses. This is his focus of mind. So I feel like he will try and do some things, but they may be half-hearted, and most of it's just going to be garbage. Okay? That's kind of basically how I'm thinking of that. All right, let's move on to the Senate. First, easy peasy question. Show me, are the Republicans going to hold it? Are the Dems going to take it? Or is it going to be a 50-50 split? How is the Senate going to pan out after the remaining 4 races are called? Okay, so Alaska and, North Carolina? Yes, Alaska and North Carolina, they're still counting. They're heavy Trump. They're going to go to Trump, okay? The 2 in Georgia are going to go to runoff in January because no candidate went over 50%, guaranteed runoff, all right? Both Senate races are going to run. So I'm asking about after the runoff in January. So let's say by February, it's all said and done, Spirit. All the votes are in. We know the 2 Georgia races. Show me what the Senate is going to look like, huh? What can we expect? What do we need to prepare for? What can we celebrate with the Senate? Show us what that Senate's going to look like. All right, I'm just going to do a full spread. Gotta do a full spread on this one. Okay. So, I'm not asking about any of the races. I just want to know by February, when it's all said and done, what's the Senate looking like? And I'm going to do a full spread on this. So, the face of it, so in February, what are we looking at? We're looking at the Emperor. So, this is tough. Is this Mitch? Is this bitchy Mitch right here sitting on his throne still? Or is this, really what the Emperor card is supposed to be is that fair, just, and strong, ethical leader, okay? So after it's said and done, okay, let's just, for the moment, I don't want to make an assumption on Mitch McConnell because he might not be there, okay? So the face of the question for the Senate, the main definition of the card is we're going to have a very strong, very just, and fair leader. That is the essence of the Emperor. He's the father, the great father figure, all right? The one you go to resolve your disputes, the one who you trust to be impartial. This is the Emperor energy. What is in the sky, and I'm asking past February here, February plus, after it's all said and done, what's in the sky? So what's in our conscious? What's known? What are we all facing? We're facing the Lovers. Partnership, cooperation, mutual respect, a blessed union, okay? What is foundational to this reading? Even if it's unconscious and we don't know it, this is the very foundation of the reading here. And this is telling us we've got some news. We've got some news around money or an offer around money. All right, so I also often see this as a vote. So it's possible we have some news around a vote. That is the sense I'm getting here, although I'm sure the Senate is rife with money issues and shenanigans. What I'm getting here is the vote is upheld. The vote is upheld. I'm not sure what that means yet. Hold on, viewers. Sorry, viewers, about that. My cat's favorite thing in the world is walking all over my tarot spreads, as anyone who saw my very last video found out. Anyways, we'll get back to it, okay? So where we left off here with this Page of Pentacles as a foundation to the reading is I'm hearing the vote will be upheld. So I'm not sure what that means yet because we don't know the results of the 2 Senate race runoffs in January, but that's the message I'm hearing. Okay. The energy we've just come through, or I should say the energy that we would have passed through prior to February, I think that's the 10, right? 10 of Wands, I'm sorry, 10 of Swords. Okay, this is downfall. This is being stabbed in the back. You've been taken down. You're out for the count. Downfall. So, of course, this could be Trump's downfall. But maybe it's somebody else's downfall. Mitch McConnell, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We'll see. The energy that they'll be moving into is the devil. The devil. So I think in all the readings I've done and all the readings I've seen others do, the devil card, can have a lot of different definitions, addiction, so forth. But this always seems to relate to the sort of the evilness of the parties that we're reading on here. So Mitch McConnell, gets the devil. Donald Trump gets the devil. And it's because of their malintent. It's because they're dirty actors. They're dirty players, and they don't have the good of the American people as their focus and their goal. They're in it for themselves. The selfishness, the greed, all those sort of evil sins, right? So what this is saying is that after all is said and done, and they're moving into future energy past February, that devil's still there. Devil's still there. All right. So one of the focuses of the situation with the 9 of Cups is this is showing us that, oh my God, the voters want their wishes fulfilled, right? Yeah, we wanted Biden, but we also wanted the Senate. We know that we need the Senate for Biden to be an effective president because McConnell has shown us, president after president, that he will block and obstruct any Democratic work in the Senate. That's what he does, okay? That's why McConnell gets the devil. The voters don't want that. We want our wishes fulfilled. We want the Senate. So this is a key energy in this scenario. The environmental influence that the Senate's going to be working in here with the sun is that there's going to be a lot of exposure. There's going to be a lot of truth coming out. And yet there's also a lot of, this is hope and optimism. This is happiness. This is happiness. So this is telling me that in the environment the Senate's working in, there's going to be a lot of joy and happiness. In the hopes and fears, with the 7 of Wands, we're looking at someone's defending themselves. Someone's having to beat back some competition here. And the outcome, we have the Ace of Swords, which is victory. We have victory. So it's interesting. So let me bring it back down here. Let's kind of delve deep. I don't want to take too much time on this, but this is a really important question if we're going to get the Senate. So I feel like, I want to say this is Mitch McConnell. And Mitch McConnell is surrounded. This is what is buttressing McConnell, a downfall. and his evil intent and actions right here. Okay, so this is squeezing our unfair emperor. If this is indeed a new majority leader, which would be, say, who's it, Schumer? If this is Schumer, then Schumer will be being squeezed by the Republicans' downfall and their malintent and their evil deeds, okay? So at this point, I'm still not sure who this is. They're gonna be cooperating. They are gonna be partners. There's partnership and cooperation and goodwill here. And we do have a vote upheld. Those are very positive. Above and below, very positive cards. There's wish fulfillment. There's hope and happiness. Someone is defending themselves, and we have victory. So, you know, I gotta tell you, I'm really hesitant to make this call because it almost seems like an impossible hurdle. But I'm kind of going towards, we might pull this out. We might get the Senate. We might get the Senate. At least, or at worst, I'm not sure which way I want to go here, we might have that 50-50 split for Kamala to break the tie. Because while we do have that evilness, it's a downfall. There's a downfall here. And when it comes to the Senate, Mitch is the one who needs the downfall. And with this happiness, enjoying the environment, and these wishes fulfilled, we've got the victory card. Ooh, I want to say we might make this happen. You know, like I said, the universe might be giving us another chance. McConnell has shown himself to obstruct Democratic administrations. We might have a shot, people. The cards are looking good. The cards are looking good. I'm going to say that was Schumer in the middle. Because really Trump, I'm going to say the Schumer in the middle. And yeah, he's going to have to deal with the Republican Party after Mitch's downfall. And, you know, all those Matt Gaetzes and Jim Jordans that don't work for the good of the people. That's going to be squeezing him. We got the sun. We got the victory card. I think we can be a little optimistic. All right. I did want to take one quick look at Trump's mental health right now. Show me Trump's mental health. Not going to be just a few cards. Trump's mental health. Come on, Spirit, show me. Give us some insight into Trump's mental health. How's he feeling? I think we know. How's he feeling? Trump's mental health. One more shuffle. Can you show me his mental health, Spirit? Okay, so his state right now, Five of Pentacles. He knows he lost. All right, he knows he lost. He's feeling like he's out in the cold. The Republican Party jettisoned him. So everyone else is in this beautiful building with this beautiful window, right? This is the rest of the party. They're still in their seats. They're still doing their work, but he got jettisoned. And, you know, that is one of the points that people have been talking about. You know, the Senate, surprisingly, shockingly, did really well this election. They picked up a couple of House seats. I think they picked up a couple governorships. They didn't outright lose the Senate. So the Republican Party fared okay, but Trump didn't, right? There were Republicans who voted for Republican senators and governors who didn't vote for him. He's feeling out in the cold, all right? And it's been a lot. It happened. This is fast action. So, he's feeling overwhelmed by just the amount of issues that he has to deal with. There's just a lot of things coming at him really fast, and he's feeling really overwhelmed with it. There's a lot of different problems. His own loss, still doesn't have the House. He might lose the Senate, okay, but now he has to deal with his own false fraud issues. Now he has to deal with Biden coming out and doing a coronavirus thing. Now he has to deal with the legal jeopardy that he is open to. Now he has to deal with this. He has to deal with that. He has to deal with his Trump supporters. There's just a lot. There's a lot coming at him. He's feeling really overwhelmed. And with the King of Wands, I think part of him, obviously, maybe there's a little part of him that still sees himself as a king or still wants to be king. But really what I'm getting from this card is that his deepest sense of self-confidence will ultimately come back. So Trump, whether it takes a week or a month or a year, at some point, Trump is still going to come up and I'm the greatest, I'm the bestest, I know everything, I know more about this than the experts, right? That sense of confidence that he has, which is, in his case, an unhealthy part of his psychological damage, but nonetheless, it's there. This isn't going to shake it. So eventually, at some point, he's going to come back into himself. He's going to come back into who he is, who he thinks he is, that high opinion of himself that he always has. This isn't going to dislodge it, at least not permanently. He will always be the king in his own head. Okay, he's always going to be the king in his own head. Okay, viewers, thank you for being with me today. I appreciate all your views. Please like, please subscribe if you'd like to see more. I love coming out here and reading these cards for you. I'm just thrilled, just like so many of you are out there as well. And I know that I have a few viewers who are conservative Republicans that like Trump. They comment sometimes to me. So far, they've been civil. I would say it'll be okay, okay? I remember 2016 and the shock and just despair I felt when my president didn't win. I've been there. We understand that feeling, but Biden's not a socialist. He's not going to destroy the suburbs. He's not going to take away all your guns. You don't have to worry. None of those things are going to happen. Life is going to go on, and you might find that things get better for you. You might find that your health care stays intact. You might find that your taxes go down. You might find the protesters disperse, and you might find that you have opportunities to make bonds and friends with people who might be different than you. So try and set your fear aside. Maybe you can have a little optimism and we can come together and be one nation again. That's our hope, right? I'll see you guys later, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Bye.